Okay, so I'm a little bit behind on the 24BB Reading Banned Books event, challenge, proposal, project. I've read 8 books and done a video on 8 books. I've actually read a number of banned books, but since the project started, I read 8 books with that in mind. And I have discovered that through this process, I really do fancy doing some videos on stuff I've already read. So I'm probably going to reread a few bits as well. But I thought it'd be nice to check in with you guys and tell you that I'm still committed to trying to get to 24 before the end of the year if I can. Certainly do as much as I can. But I'll tell you some of the ones I'm going to read. So the 24BB, just to clarify something, it's a project that was created by MJ at Reading This Life, and the idea was that we would read some banned books, partly to just read something that someone told us not to read for our own education and see what we think of it, but probably knowing what the caliber of a lot of banned books are like, to celebrate them as well. I mean, it could well be that we'll read some and we don't like them, but the idea is that we're celebrating banned books. There's so many great books that have been banned or challenged over the years. There's a fantastic idea, it's a fantastic project. So that's what that's about. So I'm going to the next one. Well, actually, the next one I'm probably going to read is this one, Fahrenheit 451, because I've almost picked up a few times, and I'm doing a Ray Bradbury deep dive anyway, and this is the next one on the list. So Fahrenheit 451 is definitely going to be read, and that's obviously quite a unique one because it's a book about banning books, and it was banned. So Fahrenheit 451 is definitely going to happen very, very soon. I'm going to read the trial again. I'm going to do a video on the trial by Kafka. So if you haven't read it, I urge you to read it. It's incredible. But I do want to do a video on it. It's my favourite piece by Kafka, and it's so brilliant, so unique, really. But it is one of the central parts of Kafka-esque as a definition. I'm going to read Interview with a Vampire at some point, Anne Rice. So it was quite nice going to New Orleans and seeing Anne Rice celebrate everywhere. She's clearly made a big impression in her home city. But I haven't read this yet, and I want to read this. And this was banned. So Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. I want to read more of James Baldwin. This is the one most likely, but I've got Go Tell It on Mountain to read as well if I want to pick that one instead. But I'm keen to read Another Country. So James Baldwin, Another Country is another one I want to read. The Absolutely True Story of a Part-Time Indian. This has been challenged or banned a lot. It was the top of the list of the most challenged book in America in the up to 2019, apparently, when the years 2011 to 2019. But it's a YA book, I think. But it's interesting because I think this might be literally banned because it's a Native American's perspective, I think. But I'm going to read that for definite. I might read Beloved by Toni Morrison. I have read one other book by her, and I didn't really like it, but I'm hoping I like this one, Beloved. I read Jazz, but I didn't really like Jazz. But I'm going to read this one. This is the big one. So we'll see what we think of Beloved. On that note, actually, I've forgotten to get it, but Octavia Butler's book, Kindred, is one that I've got that I had in mind for this project as well. So I think all in all, this ends up being about 22 videos once I've got to this point. So I'm almost there if I read all these. This is one I've been putting off, but it was the first one I thought of when we started this project. But it's a chunker, and I hate to read this and not like it. But again, this is not necessarily about reading stuff you think you're gonna like. It's about curiosity. It's about learning about books as well. So this is Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison, and I love this cover, by the way. So yeah, I'm going to hopefully read Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. Tell me what you think of this one, because I don't actually see it being mentioned a lot, even though I know it's a bona fide classic. This one I have read, but I'm going to read it again. I know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. I've read a few of her books, but I need to reread them because it's quite a long time ago. And I'm going to start with this one. and this was definitely banned, and it's definitely worth reading. This was the one that started the project in the first place, because MJ read this and did a very impassioned video about how annoyed and upset she was that this was banned. So I'm going to read this. Definitely, this is definitely one I'll definitely read. If by the beginning of December I haven't read this yet, I will start it then to make sure I've read it before the end of the year. So, Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chosky. Stephen Chosky. So I'm also going to read, probably going to read Last Exit to Brooklyn by Hubert Selby. The film is really bleak. This is just as bleak, I imagine. So it could be hard going, but I found the book quite kind of life-changing, actually, because it was in a period where I gravitated towards more mature films and more kind of soul-searching philosophical films, which I think the film of this is. So if the book is like that, I might get a lot out of that. But it's a very depressing, bleak film. But yeah, Last Exit to Brooklyn, I want to read. I'm going to do a video on the first 8 issues of The Walking Dead, because I managed to supplement my collection a little bit because I found some a little cheaper, and I love The Walking Dead, and I've done a few videos about the series, but I'd like to do something on the comic series, and these were banned, so that's one of the things. Also, I've got Watchmen down there. I'm going to do a video about Watchmen in the context of this project, and Blankets as well. Blankets is a fantastic book. It'll take me a while to get it out, but Blankets by Craig Thompson is a big graphic novel. I think is autobiographical. It's really, really good. Definitely recommend Blankets. So I'm going to do a video on Blankets for this project, and I'm also definitely going to reread The Social Contract by Russo, because I really, really love this book, and I'd like to talk about it and what it means and what the message is in the book, and whether you fall philosophically or politically on this side of the fence or on the other side of the fence. So yeah, it'd be interesting to do a video on this. So Social Contract by Russo was also banned. So yeah, so that's almost to 24. There's a couple of others I'd have to add, but I can see where I fit with that towards the end of the year, if I get to that point. There's still quite a lot of books with the other things I want to read, but yeah, I'd love to do that. So I'm still committed. I'm going to do my best. So we'll see how we got on. Let me know below which ones you think I should prioritise and what you've read, and if you think the project's intriguing. If you do think the project's intriguing, I don't think MJ would mind if you want to start it now and not get 24 books, but just read some banned books and celebrate them, because I think the project is a really good one. And if you can't get to 24 books, I think the principle behind it is still quite sound. And on that note, if I don't get to 24 books, then I'm glad I've committed to the project, even if I didn't manage to finish the whole 24 number. So anyway, yeah. Thanks a lot for watching. Stay curious, everybody. Seek out banned books.